Hi everyone, and welcome to the Christmas edition
Well,
of the Sales Mindset TV show. It's the 15th.
it's the 15th.
We're getting close.
Bar humbug.
Right. Next week, this is the last one this week, but next week I'm going to get Steve wearing some kind of Christmas jumper or t-shirt just to get him in the frame of mind ready for Christmas.
Right.
Anyway, we hope that everyone's Christmas shopping is going well.
Yeah,
and everyone's having an enjoyable lead up to Christmas. We understand that, it is coming to the end of kind of the working period as we most of us take a break for Christmas. And the few of us are going to continue working over it. But yeah, we just wanted to finish off this week talking about setting meaningful targets, because a lot of you are going to be thinking about your targets for 2019 over Christmas. And it's one of the reasons why we wanted to cover that this week. We've talked about plans.
Yeah.
We've talked about your whys and doing it. Now, let's talk about actually taking action.
Yeah.
Because that's important, isn't it? Taking action
Yeah.
and adjusting stuff to the action that happens and the results that you get.
Mm.
So what do we mean by taking action?
Yeah. I mean, just to pick up on the slowing down in December point, I get where you're coming from, but just to reconnect that there is still, I'm not saying every day is a selling day over Christmas, because let's be realistic, but I think a strong end to the year from a behaviour perspective, from an activity perspective, from sales, sets you up well to start in January. So, we're talking about planning, we're talking about target setting, so use the quieter period to really get into this space.
That's what we're going to be doing over, between Christmas and New Year. We're going to be spending a lot on target setting, sitting down, making sure that the targets we've already talked about are achievable.
So building on from that, then. So what do I mean when I say take action to achieve it? Well, it's about building your timetable. I mean, you may recall when we talk about prospecting, I tell you to diarise prospecting time, and it's as specific and as tangible as that. Make sure that you actually block out time in your diary to do your prospecting. Work out when your prospects are most accessible or around most. Make sure when you're going to speak to them and how you're going to connect with them. But taking action is about really, with your sales goals, breaking them down into every Thursday at 2 o'clock onwards is prospecting time. And that is part of taking into action.
When should you be looking at this and adjusting? Should you wait until July, or is there an essence of doing this weekly?
Well, so that, I mean, in there's a question within that about if you set your sales goals, are you stuck with them, right? And actually, I don't subscribe to that. I think you adjust as you go along, because there's two reasons, right? One is there's challenge, i.e. Something's happened beyond my control that means I've got to relook at the product mix, maybe going for more high value product, or there's a real opportunity to take advantage of on my mainstream products. So staying close to the market, obvious. The other one is you might be killing it. You might actually be doing brilliantly, and the targets that you've set, you've actually got to go and grow them even further. So adjust them as you go along. So I always say at least monthly, be looking at your sales plan and your sales targets in your business plan. Because there's nothing worse than having set a goal that remains unachievable and unrealistic. I'll tell you a very quick story. I worked for Shell, and in the UK I was responsible for selling to the power industry. And in my plan was to sell industrial lubricants to a power plant, which, when the targets were set back in August, was absolutely viable. In February, that power plant shut down, right? And my boss said to me, and he might even watch this video, he says, go and find another one. Now, it's not that easy to find another power plant, right? So sometimes there are things that happen that just means you have to readjust.
Yeah. Well, we talked about at the beginning of the week, we were working on a document, weren't we, that allows people to instantly update their numbers. And we will be getting that out. It will be a new course coming out very soon.
It will, yeah.
So people can subscribe to that course. So yeah, there is an essence of changing your data as you go along, isn't there?
Yeah.
Changing your sales targets every time that you update or check on your prospects.
Totally right. Totally right. It doesn't make things easier. It just makes things more realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This document that we've been working on, it's amazing how quickly it updates everything.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that to come out. Top tip.
Well, I mean, within that same place, I think the top tip around target setting, probably putting the whole week together. Just do them, right? There's a post that went out, what are we at, on Monday evening that you might want to look back to. And it just talks about how more likely you are to achieve your goal if you have one.
Yeah.
And it's worth looking at that, because that will be the top tip. Of all we've gone through this week, take the time over this period to set your goals.
Yeah. Brilliant. So that rounds up this week quite nicely, and hopefully that's given everyone enough information to look at their sales targets for 2019.
Yeah, we're all ready for it.
I'm going to be wearing my t-shirt all next week in celebration of Christmas coming up, and if I can get Steve to wear one too.
What's the comments? If the comments are overridingly positive, I might put the Christmas outfit on.
Okay, so we need a thumbs up or just Steve wear the outfit.
Yeah.
Steve wear the Christmas outfit, yeah. Anything, just come on, thumbs up, give us some love, and Steve might just wear the Christmas outfit. That's all we got time for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in from me and Steve here. Thank you, and have a great weekend.